Hello, CFA Nation. Gabe.
Nick without the lag. We are in Studio A, Southside. That's right, Southside. Even though he's like a mile south of me.
A mile south of Southside. Oh, man. Nick, I mean, everybody that tuned in knows what they're here for. We're getting ready to react to our very first IPL game. Mumbai Indians between CSK. That's right. My CSK, right? Chennai Super Kings. You know, first, before we even get into our three wickets, can I say that my level of experience was so, even when I was on the losing side and things looked bad, it was just so enjoyable. It was the quality. You're right, man. The difference between CPL and IPL, night and day. The quality of competition, man. Like, the TKR Knight Riders ran through everybody. Great, for the exception of one or two games, they literally ran through everybody. This wasn't that, cousin, right? This wasn't that at all. Oh, I was stressed out.
And these are on paper, because the season's just starting. These are the favorites, right? These are the teams that were in the championship last year. These are the teams that are usually in the championship. So you got the best going. And, in the chat, they're like, oh, this was nothing compared to some other matches. It came to the last over. It came to the sixth to last ball. Like, that was pretty exciting for me. And it's nothing against CPL. I think I rattled a few cages with some of my comments. I was just being honest. I don't think the product's bad. I just think it wasn't the best with everything considered.
Right.
This was an excellent product. At one point, it was like the 11th or 12th over, and it was like only 80, 89, and I'm like, I'm feeling good. I didn't feel comfortable because your teams always come back and chase. I hate watching a chase. But we're gonna go ahead and jump into this. He was mentioning my OCD earlier. He's right. I do have some OCD. I want to make sure we get the man in there. All right. So we're gonna jump right into our three wickets. We're gonna start off with what we disliked. I'm gonna go ahead and start. I'm the guest of the house, so I'm gonna go ahead and take that privilege. What I dislike, it's simple and it's short. It's just the fact that Mumbai lost. And what I mean by that is it was a fun experience. It was there was no fans there, which would have been way more better.
Right.
Maybe that's my second thing I disliked. But it was a great experience. It was a great stream. We hit record numbers with people participating. There was more people to see me suffer with my team lost. That's what I disliked. But I love the bowling. I mean, I'll get to that later with the stuff we liked. I love the hitting. Everything else, I enjoyed the entire experience. I woke up at 6:30. It's a Saturday. I want to sleep in. It was totally worth it. I just did not like the fact that Mumbai lost. I feel like they let some chances go by. Bumrah, he's on my fantasy squad. This guy, he's like one of those ride or dies, right? I'm not going to sell out him after one match.
Right.
But that no ball was killer. That no ball was absolutely killer. But this guy's still going to be on my fantasy squad. I mean, come on. Whenever he's out there, he's going to be playing. That's what I disliked.
What did I dislike? Okay, for all of you that are new to the channel, this is a running theme with me. I hated the umpiring today, okay? I hated the umpiring. You know what? Umpires are bad at life. Do you know an umpire personally? If you do, you probably do. You just don't know it.
They caught the no ball, whether it was the umpire in the stands or whatever. They caught that no ball.
Exactly, but they also forced some challenges or reviews that didn't need to happen that really swing the complexity of the game one way or another. And I know what people are going to say, Gabe, it's a hard job. I get it. They get paid a lot of money. My job's hard too, okay? But I can't mess up like that. I can't have class after class fail. They're going to be like, listen, cousin, you got to go. Just be real. Be real. Man, I would never win. What is it called? The sportsmanship award? Where
fair play?
I would never win the fair play award because I'd be letting them have it, bro.
True, man.
Dude,
it's true.
Honestly though, and you even called it. One would have went one way, one would have went the other way. You only get one review too.
That's crazy.
One
I
review.
Get it's 20 overs, but man, one review.
That's brutal. That's brutal.
And to your point, it puts a lot of pressure on the captain, whoever's at strike, the wicketkeeper, whoever it is that's going to make that decision and can make that argument for the captain or whoever's at this point to make that call. It puts the pressure on them because if we use it now in the first over, we have none for the rest of the inning. They have none for the rest of the 20 overs. Our turn to bat or our turn to bowl. I mean, it's a lot. You get one for a batsman's side, one for the bowler's side, but that puts a lot of pressure. So that's when you need the umpires. For the ones that are plumb. For the ones that are plumb, right?
Exactly.
Can we ask for that?
At the very minimum. For the ones that are, if it's like a really close decision, all right, whatever. But for the ones that are plumb, there should be no reason. Like, are you serious right now? And we saw how big a review was when MS Dhoni came up and they almost got him out, which obviously he didn't even score, didn't matter. But they tried to get him out on a golden duck. He wasn't even close to touching that ball. And I'm like, what is this umpire thinking? Had we used the review earlier, that would have been an out. It's just so frustrating. And guys, I'm not just attacking cricket. Check the record. Check our reviews here. Yo, NBA, NFL. Championships have been lost in the NFL because of bad umpiring. Who was the guy? Was it with the Saints? He was on his back. On his back. They took the ball from him. How can you fumble when you're on your back? How is that not down by contact? I mean, so many bad calls, no matter what sport you look at. Umpires must have like a brethren, a society, like, look, you stick up for me, I'm going to stick up for you. You know what I'm saying? They all, sipping on their cognac and smoking cigars in some mysterious, nefarious room or whatever. And bro, I'm serious. Like,
I know you're serious.
Oh, it's so bad. I hate him.
Let me give some context, because maybe it's just America. Maybe that's another thing why we annoy the rest of the world. But umpire complaints is a common thing in the sporting world for America as fans. It happens all the time. I love that, Asia and Europe and Africa, all these places that love cricket, right? I love that they're way more kind and way more respectful. And they look at umpires like teachers and, whatever. But I'm telling you, not here. All right, so let's move on. Let's move on, because we'll be here all day. Talking about what we liked. Let's do what we liked. Go for it.
Ooh, all right, what I liked. You know what I liked was the captaincy by Dhoni. And I'll say this, a lot of people would have been like, after such a long layoff, right? The first thing you want to do is probably get in there. He wants to be the hero of the game and win. And there were two guys that could have gone, and he even explained it in his press in the press conference afterwards. He said, yeah, it makes sense to play them there. They're left-handed batsmen. It would only make sense to take that advantage, have one left-handed batsman on strike and one right-handed batsman on strike, especially with the spinners coming up. Like, the way this guy thinks is like, I'm not too big. I know I'm MS Dhoni, and everybody expects me to go out and win the game, but there's so many times when people would be tempted to call their own number when they probably shouldn't, okay? I forgot what game it was in the NFL where they just had to run the ball. Oh, Pete Carroll, Super Bowl against the Patriots. Run the ball.
Lynch,
it's working.
You got beast mode right there.
Run the ball. But no, don't take conventional wisdom out of it. I want the glory. Let Russell Wilson throw the touchdown. And what happened? Pick six. Sometimes you got to be bigger than yourself. And I think at that point, Dhoni's like, listen, this game is bigger than me. They beat us last year, right? By what was it? 1 run? Mumbai Indians beat them by 1 run, and he said, nope, let me give the glory to the young guys, the lefties. Let me build their experience, build their confidence, because I know right now they have the advantage as left-handed batsmen. You don't see that in every sport, man. Too often, what do NBA players get killed for all the time? My boy Carmelo, he ain't never met a shot he didn't like. 3 people on me, I'm taking it. Steph Curry, half court. The whole team's on me. A coach is on the ground out here too. I'm taking it. You know what I mean? I'm just being real. So often people forget they have teammates. Teammates. You know what I mean, dude? That's just real. I love that about it. And that's what I like the most, the captaincy. Sticking with Ngidi, who got him those 3 wickets in the depth overs. That was so big.
That was a bold decision. He just kept with them.
Kept with them, exactly. Just the way he managed this team was amazing today. And I tell you what, I will say captain is the hardest in cricket, is the hardest position of any sport, period. Because not only are you responsible for yourself, you're responsible for all the calls you make, who's bowling, who's not bowling, for the batting order. Everybody's like, think about this. If they had lost today and he didn't even get a chance, if they ran out of overs, then what they would have said, you know what? Dhoni shied away from the moment. Dhoni didn't go out and win it for his team. Think about it. That's a tough decision to say, I'm going to go with the 2 lefties, go with the younger guys, give them the strike, as opposed to me putting myself in there. If this doesn't work, you get killed. And it worked. So, man, hats off to Dhoni. I love that.
But even if it didn't work, he had a reason for it. It wasn't like, you're right, I hesitated. I missed. This guy's been a captain for 14, 15 years. I mean, he's been there, done that. This guy, it's nothing new. There's no rust whatsoever.
On the other side, on Mumbai Indians, what did I like? I go tell you, Mumbai has deeper bowling than I thought they did, man. I had never heard of this. What was the kid's name? I don't want to get it incorrectly.
Pattinson.
Not Pattinson. No, the second one. It was the bowling.
Pattinson.
Pattinson was
Bolt
the first.
Pattinson.
Oh, Bolt. I had never heard of Bolt. Holy cow, is he nasty. They got 2 wickets in the first 2 overs. I was sitting here like, it's Piper 2. It's Piper 2. I was freaking out. If you guys saw the video, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect them to have the bowling. But that just goes to show you can't just go off of records. Guys might have played in other leagues. They just might have not gotten drafted onto an IPL team or whatnot. Because I'm like, they don't have that to hear. You know what I'm saying? They don't got that Dwayne Bravo, the guys that are known for taking massive wickets, 500 wickets.
Well, they got
like
Malinga, but he's not playing.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Malinga's not.
Replaced him.
That's what I'm saying. Malinga's not
but
playing.
They got Boomerang.
So they lost their guy. Boomerang I didn't know about either. They are deeper bowling. They are deeper bowling than I thought they were, and that's what I liked about them. You know what? No Malinga, no problem. We got other guys that are going to step up. And again, this wasn't a blowout by any stretch of the imagination. It came down to the last over, and tell me you haven't. What was it? I think they won by 5 wickets, which, you know, again, that doesn't matter because they were running out of overs. That's how I really look at it. You know, how many overs, how many balls? I think it came down to 3
balls left, 3 or 4.
So it was like 3 or 4 balls left, bro. 3 or 4 balls left. That could, you know, you could get it out there. You could get a dot ball here and there. I mean, realistically, that's not a lot. That's not a lot. Think about how many dots. There was one. Who was it that had the maiden dot over with all dots? Was it
I don't know if anyone did. They had a lot of dots early on against CSK, and then the dots just dried up. I mean, they seriously dried. They could buy a dot in the last 5 or 6 overs, and that part was super impressive. I'm going to steal the show right now. All right, what did I like about CSK? I love the fact that they were able to adapt. They were able to adapt on the bowling side. They got, you know, some earlier wickets, but not a whole lot, and then they just got wicket after wicket. I think they got 4 in the death overs. They were able to adapt on the bowling side. They were definitely able to adapt on the batsman side. They started off so slow, so sluggish. If it wasn't for that, I keep talking about that one no ball, that was 11 runs.
Huge.
They would have been under 40, I believe, for the power play. Unbelievable. And then once we hit the 13th over and the 14th over, I think they kept scoring more and more runs. 10 runs, 11 runs, 14 runs, 13. I mean, it was incredible. They were able to adapt to the situation. Like you said, they had 2 wickets early in the first 2 overs. And then you got Rayudu and you got Faf that come in and say, we're not going to go down no more. I mean, they lasted so long, Faf, the entire time. They were able to adapt. And then when the wickets did start to fall, they got 3. I think Mumbai got 3 in the death overs. They were able to outlast, and they were able to go in there. You talked about Dhoni. That was huge captaincy. I think Rohit Sharma was a good captain, but I think Dhoni maybe showed a little more skills because I feel like, you know, CSK, they got more of the spinners. Mumbai's got better pace bowlers, but Mumbai doesn't have a lot of spin bowlers, and I'm not sure if I think they went with 1 Shahar. Maybe they went with 1 spin bowler. So
I think so. And I mean, to your point, guys, it came down to 3 overs. 3 overs. Not going to talk about the last 3 balls. That was 11. That one ball was 11. You called it 11 runs off of 1 no ball.
And even if you allow the boundary, there was 7 from that no ball infraction because the no ball itself was in the 6. I would have loved to have 7 more runs for you guys to have to chase. I mean, come on. I still think CSK they were just destined to get that. That's what I liked about CSK. What did I like about Mumbai? I like this squad. I like the fact that you have just like everywhere it's dangerous. I didn't love that the Panyas and that Pollard, they went down earlier than I want them to, but you're going to have that sometimes. But they were still able to put up 163 with those 3 big boppers, not able to contribute too much. I like the fact that Quinton de Kock, he really showed me some. You know, I'm thinking, where's Ashawn at? Why isn't he a wicketkeeper? You know, Quinton de Kock, he showed some skills, so I definitely liked him there. He showed up. He was able to, you know, show some of that swag and whatnot. I love the fact that you had Pattinson and Bolt, like you mentioned. Those guys were fantastic. I think they performed better than even Bumrah did and then Shahar did. I love the fact that I wasn't loving Shahar, but then he came in and got that huge wicket in his last over that he bowled. And it's crazy because like his bowling style, it looked like he was kind of like at a 90-degree angle when he was bowling. It was so wild. So I like their squad. I feel like I'm curious. It's just the first match. I'm curious. I'm a little nervous. Do they have enough? That's my question. Anyways, let's get into what we learned. What did we learn about IPL? What did we learn about these 2 teams? Okay, I learned that CSK, my prediction of them not making the playoffs might be foolish, right? They're deep no matter what. I learned that they have heart, that they have brains, and they have, you know, the necessary skills that you need. I learned that Mumbai, you know, I love Rohit Sharma as a captain. I think he's got control of his squad. I think they look at him for every single review possibility, and he's doing this or that. He's trying to calm him down. Like I was saying, joking around, he was sitting on that cooler. I mean, he was just in that game. He doesn't need a fancy chair. Let's just watch this match. I like Pattinson a lot. I really do. The fielding side and the bowling side. I like Bolt a lot. It was a shame that he was in that last over, but I mean, you didn't give him much of a chance. 5 runs on 6 balls or whatever it was. Good luck there. I like the squad that they have. They need to figure out how are they going to be able to perform at UAE, right? But what I really, really like is the fact that we finally watched our first IPL game, that we finally streamed it. We watched it live. We saw Dhoni live. We saw Boomer live. We saw all these other greats and these future greats. Super exciting. I love the fans showed up. I mean, even after the match, we still had 400 and some change just sticking around for our aftermath. Thought that was awesome. Absolutely loved it.
All right, so to what I learned. All right, I learned first and foremost that Gabe, at least give the guy a game. At least give the guy a game, because I'm not going to lie. Ngidi almost got the Campbell treatment, all right? I was like, what are you doing? He was leaking runs.
Calm down, brother.
Leaking runs. But he had to get settled in there and bowl. But now, seriously, what I did learn, and on both sides, I learned how deep these teams are and why year after year they're always there at the end. Year after year, I should say, they're the most successful franchises. Think about this, okay? CSK had no Tahir, okay? Had no Dwayne Bravo. Obviously, they lost their third and most important batsman outside of Dhoni and Reina, and they still
got 9 wickets.
Still 9 wickets. They are so deep.
Fair.
I learned Ngidi's a savage. I learned that this team has so many players. Raidu. Everybody kept telling me, Gabe, yes, Reina's a loss, but there's so many good batsmen and Indian batsmen you don't know. People were telling me in the chat, look out for this guy Raidu. Holy cow, 71 runs. Hold that, cousin. He said, Gabe, I'm here. Calm down. Don't fret, cousin. I got you.
Ex-Mumbai Indian.
Ex-Mumbai Indian. How did they drop him? He also got dropped.
He got dropped from the international squad.
From the Indian international squad. Holy, that captain must have a short temper like me. What? 3 games you don't produce? You're out of here.
3 games? That's a lot.
That's what you get. Oh, man. On the Mumbai side, what I learned. Listen, this team's going to be dangerous. And let me tell you this. That no ball, 11-run no ball, that was a big factor. Anyone that says it doesn't, check the complexity of the game. That really changed, because right immediately after that, then it went for a 6. Like Nick says, even if it wasn't a no ball, which was a boundary, then they get a 6 on it. That turned into 11 runs instantly, and the game came down to basically 3 overs. Not 3 overs. I'm sorry, I keep saying 3 overs. 3 balls basically. So that shows you how close it was. Think about all the missed fielding opportunities by Mumbai. Okay, balls that should have been
in the air for 20 minutes and it still finds a hole.
It still finds a hole, right? Somehow. Balls that should have been stopped by the outfield, by the fielders, and they go for 4s instead of being singles or even, 2s. Like, they made so many mistakes, and that's where Rohit Sharma said he didn't throw anybody particularly under the bus at the press conference afterwards. But he said, there's things we could clean up as a team. My hat goes off to CSK. They always come prepared. But when you play CSK, you cannot give a subpar effort at any stage of the game, whether it's mentally, and that's most errors are mental. You know what I'm saying? You cannot do it, and the fielding really let them down today. How often are you going to see that, though? That a no ball goes for 11, or that you've got 3 or 4 guys giving up what should be singles to turn into boundaries because it goes right through their hands when they're there, which tells me Mumbai's going to be there standing at the end, and makes me feel good because I chose them to make it to the tournament. But this team is going to be really, really good, and honestly, that's what I learned, that there's just more parity. I don't think I saw this level of parity at all in the CPL. Honestly, I hadn't seen this level of parity at all, even in international Test cricket, which we love Test cricket, with the exception, I should say, and it hurts me to say, because my West Indies won a game in England, but still, they lost the series. The first game they won, and then after your boy Joe Root came back, it was over, cousin. You know what I'm saying?
Broad.
Him and Stuart Broad, exactly. But until the Aussies came, I didn't see that level of parity. You know what I mean? This was parity. This game was, one inning, from inning to inning, and from ball to ball, the complexity of the game changed. And if I would tell you I was comfortable, even after we got them out at 163, I'm lying, because they gave up 2 wickets immediately. immediately, man. So the parody is going to be so much fun, and I will make a bold prediction right now. I don't think I'm going to get another undefeated season. That's probably not going to happen.
Disrespectful, not in the IPL. I just can't wait to see their squads. I mentioned him for a second, but Faf. I mean, this guy, he was a crusher. And even in the power play where he was obviously not near the boundary, he had made one or two amazing stops when the balls that were screaming by trying to go for a boundary. He was able to do that. He had a smile on his face the entire time. This guy, he's my new Pollard. He's giving me a heart attack. I see the skills. I mean, 2 amazing boundary catches. We did the top 10 amazing catches as an early reaction on Born Reviews. Those 2 catches were on the same level. They were unbelievable, and they were back-to-back. I hit a 6 in the same exact spot as that guy hit a 6 to that same fielder. He was in the perfect position. He made some amazing plays, and he was able to get his 50, and he was able to he was unbelievable, in my opinion, man of the match. Unbelievable. Let us know what you guys think. Please, guys and girls, let us know what you think in the comment section. What are your 3 wickets? What are some things we missed? What are some things we don't understand besides our hate for the umpires? Thanks so much for checking us out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And even though we're not going to be doing this on every single IPL game, this game was fun. Until next time.
That's 6 runs.